Good morning. All right, today we are doing an art lesson, and I have practiced a little bit, and I also want to be able to upload a recording of what we do. So I'm going to record it, and every time I do it, it's probably going to be different, and that's a good thing. Every time you do it, it doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't have to be the same as what I do, but we're just doing just a fun little city landscape today, and these are the things you'll need. If you want to use a ruler, you can. You'll need a pencil and a good eraser for sure, and a black marker or a Sharpie if your parents want you to use Sharpies. These are great watercolor markers, or crayons. You could use markers, crayons, watercolor paints to color your picture, whatever you want. But this is my little practice sample I've done here. I did this one just to practice and see how I wanted to make it look, and it was really fun. It gave me a good idea. I used just pencil and crayons for this thing, so it's a fun way to do something really simply. So that's probably what I'm going to do again on this demo. This one I'm going to draw a little differently just to give it a different twist. I'm actually going to go, like one of the samples I saw was they went from the corner up, and I liked that idea. So I'm going to do one from the corner. And so we're going to go and we're going to start with our pencil, and we're going to just start with the water. We have like little waves of water down here at the bottom. And in this one, I'm going to make swirly waves, and I'm going to do fun swirly waves. Okay, you can do waves any way you like. If you like doing waves wavy like that, go for it. So we're going to do a few more just swirly waves here, and then right at the bottom of the waves, the city has a wall. And this wall is not straight. It kind of follows the waves. This wall has a second little layer. These are like the bricks. And anytime you see a rock wall, you would notice that the rock wall has little stones, and the stones are not the same. They're different shapes, so just add little stones to your wall here. Go through it and add all the rocks you want. I'm glad I'm practicing this because I definitely need the practice. When it doesn't have to be anything perfect, but it's just a fun way to do this. So there's our waves, there's our wall, and now above the wall we have a little cityscape. And I'll take my ruler here and I'm going to make a tall building on this side. I'm going to go ahead and make a tall building right there. We'll make this building with a rooftop. Give it a roof. It's going to have little roof tiles on it. And then let's see, I'm going to do a building about right here. I'm going to make it a little wider. Good thing I used that. Make it a little wider, and then this one's going to have kind of like a dome. Why not? There's a little pinnacle coming off of the dome. Make a little house size here. And behind it a little bit is another building. So basically we're just going to start filling in buildings all along our cityscape. There's that building. Let's make a little bit wider one here. I'm going to come down about that far over and do a little bit wider. Let's see, you can see our city is turning a little bit to the side here. Let's do a small building here. This is another building. There we go. Now over here, we're going to make kind of a cool house there. We'll just end with a little building behind there. All right, so now we have to kind of just take all these buildings and give them, let's make this one have a roof like that also. This one's got another dome. All right, you don't have to give them roofs at all. And if you want, you can even have a little building here in front of these buildings. It's just a little square building. There we go. Now everybody has to have windows of some kind. So let's give windows to everything. Different shapes on all of them. You don't have to make any of them the same. Let's say this building has round windows all the way across. And here's our little roof top there. Let's keep this building roof doors, big windows, big ones. This one, I guess I'll just give it some doors. I'm going to put a window right here in the roof for that one. A couple bigger windows. Now this is actually a building over here, so I'm just going to put little windows in it. Let's give this one a rounded dome door with some handles. Just kind of repeat that going on there. Let's see. I'm going to give this one some more round windows, but big ones. This one we're going to give a bunch of little square windows to. All right. I'm loving it. Let's see. I need some more ideas here. How about some big long windows on this one? You can see that I'm not trying to be too perfect. I think that's what makes it fun. Just how quirky and different it is. There doesn't have to be anything perfect here. Make this roof, just add a few roof lines there. I think I'm going to add some dome lines here, like that. Like that, kind of like a dome. I like that to have a little bit of a dome also. Let's see. I think this one I'm just going to have some funky side windows like this. Kind of cool. This one back here has a bunch of little windows because it's far in the distance and you can only see a few things. All right, there's our cityscape, a really basic outline of it. So now we get to draw a sun in here. And let's just imagine there's a big yellow sun behind the city. I'm drawing super light, but I can see my lines, and then I'm only going to draw in the circle that would show, the part that would show. And then you're going to do 2 sun lines coming out everywhere in the city through the sky. Anywhere that you can see sky. Okay. Wow. Okay. Now we have, we'll do one more. There we have it. Now that you have it all drawn in with pencil, you're going to outline it, go over it with Sharpie or your black marker so it's permanent and it won't disappear when we color it. So I'm going to put just a little scratch paper under here so I don't know. And this is the time too, like if I didn't like something I might have done, I can change it a little bit. I have these big waves, and I can actually add a second wave to it if I want to. Wow. There we go. Just make lots of fun lines, waves. Okay, so there's my water. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish my wall. Okay, let's color in all our little stones that we drew. Okay, wow, it's looking kind of cool. So now I get to go and trace in all the parts of the buildings that I like the most. I'm going to take a little more care this time and make sure I don't overlap with my marker because I can't erase it. Just do a little neater job. Take my time. I love it. If you need to use a ruler, go for it. Hopefully you're able to see everything and my hand is not totally in the way. Really, you don't have to watch everything I do because you can do it however you want. Maybe you're going to come up with a cool new design that I didn't even think of. Because I'm just doing this really quickly, right? Cool. You could even put signs on your buildings, name them. If you're going to do that, obviously you need to leave a spot for it, maybe on the top right here of your buildings. And this is pretty easy, right? It's just whatever fun doodle you want to draw. The smaller the windows, the further back it looks like it is. Another way you can make something look further in the distance is coloring it darker than other things near it. It makes it look farther back. This one's closer forward, so you can draw it lighter. If you look at things in the distance, there's a little bit of a fog or a mist that gets on them. Atmosphere, it kind of darkens them. Cool, I'm loving it. Okay, looks Looks like I just have a few more things to finish here. Now, as we color these things, you just get to color everything in the way you want. It's kind of fun to just use your imagination. And the idea is to get everything colorful. And that's what's going to make it really pop. Sun lines coming out, sun rays. I noticed that I basically made them all exactly the same, so I think I might switch them up a little bit so they don't all look exactly the same. Let's do some the opposite way, right? So it's got okay, there we go. Now if there's anything you didn't draw in, go ahead. Now is the part, this is the part you want to take your left hand or right hand, whichever you're not using, and kind of hold the paper down so you don't crumple the paper as you erase. And you're going to notice it's going to make a lot of eraser shavings. Keep those neat and tidy on your paper. Don't spread those all over your table, all over the desk, floor. I'm a mom, and nothing is more annoying than coming up to a table or a desk in the library and just seeing that somebody left all their eraser shavings everywhere for me to clean up. That's no bueno. So when I get along the edge, I like to go the direction of the edge so I don't go against the edge. And if I were to go this way against the edge, I'd probably pull it and rip the paper. So I go the direction the edge is at. Erase all the lines. Oh, I can see I forgot one Sharpie line to separate those two buildings right there. Now they just look like one giant building. I'll fix that in a bit. Also forgot to add the bricks along the wall bridge thing here. I'm trying to be really careful I don't crumple and rip my paper, because sometimes that happens. I'm sure you've all had that experience. It's kind of annoying. See all my eraser shavings getting everywhere. I'm going to be really awesome and clean those up. Please clean up after yourself whenever you do art, because then your mom will love it and they won't mind. So I'm going to grab my trash can and shake my paper off in the trash can. And all these these eraser shavings, I'm holding my trash can here and I'm brushing them into the trash can. Because you know what? You can't do a whole lot of work on the table if you have a big mess there. So now that we have a clean surface and our paper's all nice and clean, pretty much, we can finish with the coloring. I'm going to add the little bricks along the top of the wall that I forgot to add. There we go. Okay, now we get to color. And like I said, I am going to use crayons. So I'm going to open up my box of crayons and I'm going to go ahead and get them all out. I have 16. If you have a bigger box, you probably don't want to get them all out. But I know I want different colors of blue for my water. Looks like I have 2 colors of blue here. And maybe I'll use a little green because sometimes water looks green. But I really like to outline where I'm going to color in a little dark like this. Go along your lines and outline it. It's almost like you're just adding a little bit of a edge shading. And then I like to just take it and color it in everywhere I just outlined. A little bit lighter. So I have my outline and then I colored it in. So I'm going to just go along the water and outline stuff that I want in blue. And then color them in. Pretty cool, right? I'll try this other color of blue down here. This is blue-green or teal. It's kind of a perfect watercolor. So I would just continue on coloring your water, alternating colors so it's different colors. You have, I think I'll put some aqua blue down here. And just keep going, alternating colors here and there as you go, all right? And then another, I think I might also add a little bit of green here because I like green in my water. So I'm going to just go along and color my water different colors of blue. I'm going to just alternate the blues as I go. All right. So continue on with that as you can. And then we're going to do the wall. And I think I'm going to go ahead and color the bricks along the top of the wall pretty much black. I want to be able to see that line in between them a little bit, so I'll probably leave it a little more light so they can see those. You can kind of see them. We're good. I'm going to use black, but in my picture I did before, I did my wall brown. I made it brown. And you can see that I did blue and green blue in my water. I alternated colors there, did different kinds of waves there. And then I'm going to just outline the wall with this black. And this just kind of gives me, anytime I do this, it just kind of gives me a border where I don't cross. I don't want to go into the water with my black, so I'm giving myself a little border where I'm going to stop. That just helps me stay in the lines that I want to be in. And then really lightly with my crayon, I'm going to just color the whole wall with this black crayon, and doing it lightly, it makes it look gray. If you have a gray crayon and you want to do it gray. And now I'm going to come in with a little more pressure. I'm going to color in my rocks so you can see them. The stones on my wall. I really like crayons. They're so versatile. You can do a little pressure, you can do a lot of pressure, or you can do a little pressure and just go over something a few times. The more you go over it, the darker it's going to get. Okay, there's my wall all done. Now each building I'm going to just pick a different color for. I'm going to try not to put the same color next to each other, but I'm just going to do each building in a separate color, even the roof. And some of the building, I just left some of the windows a little bit white. So it kind of looks like maybe there's light on the inside. Somebody's in that building maybe, and the light's on, but not everywhere. So maybe on this one, I'm just going to leave that little spot white. I just kind of picked before I started where I would leave some white, and that will look like there is a light on. But then everything else I'm going to color in. And the same way, I kind of outline it. And then I just start coloring the whole building as dark as you want. Outlining is a good way to control where I color so I don't go too far. but it's just a lot of practice. It doesn't matter if you go outside of the lines. This is for fun. Okay, then you're going to just keep going with every building the same way. I think on this building, I'm going to leave that light on and this light on. Maybe every light on the top floor of this building's on, so I'll leave all the windows white on the top floor. So I just want to be a little more careful going around those ones. Okay. But the rest of them, I'm just going to color in, because there's no one in there. Here we go. That was cool, right? I'm going to make this dome purple, and I like a dark purple dome. Go with purple on this building. It looks blue on the camera. That's funny. This is a purple crayon. Now the rooms I want to leave lit, I'm going to have to avoid coloring. Whatever you choose. If you don't want to leave any windows lit, you don't have to. You can just color everything in. There we go. So pick a different color for each building and color them the color you want them to be. Use all the colors you can think of. And as you finish your city, then you're going to move on to your sun. And I like to kind of get any colors that look like they could be in the sun. Red, yellow, oranges. And so we get lots of colors here. I'm going to do different colors coming out of these sun rays. And I'm kind of a lot less careful on the sun because I'm just going to mix a bunch of colors. Okay, once I've used a color, I'll put it down. This looks like the same color. Yeah, it is. Go with a little darker orange here. Kind of mixing them together. Yeah, it's kind of fun, right? Just looks like it's a warm sunset. The sun is setting behind the buildings. Get some red on there. I'm using like all my colors, and I'm going to use yellow last to fill in anything I haven't made other colors. There's just some red patches in the sky from the sun setting. I think I'm going to add some of this too. All right. I'm going really fast because this video is getting long, and I'm going to let you guys continue on and finish your drawings. I will post this video, and I will also post a link where you can upload pictures that you do to share, and so I can share them. Sorry, I keep covering my picture. I have a tendency to hold the picture down with my left hand so it doesn't wrinkle. So anywhere there's sky, I'm going to fill in with yellow. And yellow being the lightest color, I can go over any of the darker colors with the crayon. It won't mess them up. It might just add a little bit of yellow to them and blend them a little. but you could actually do it in the opposite way too. If you did yellow and you wanted to come back and put a little orange into it, you can. It's kind of cool. All right, well, I'm going to end there. And when you finish your drawing, make sure that you sign it. And show me a picture of how it turned out. Hope you guys had fun.